Hello beautiful simmers, today we'll be going over the Sims 4 Sweet Allure Kit. This kit retails for $4.99 USD. If you do decide to purchase it, you can use the code aharris00britney. While it doesn't give you a discount, it will give the creator of this kit a small commission. I'll be showing you swatches of each item and giving you my thoughts and opinions on them. I will also be showing you some styled looks I created to help you decide whether or not to purchase this kit. We've got Janessa here modeling for us today. Now we've got a pair of earrings. These are quite nice. I like these. Do you see how it kind of shifts? The shininess you can see. I really appreciate that detail. Ooh, those are nice. They've got a little bow and a pearl down at the bottom. I think those are kind of cute. We don't really have anything like this in the game, so I do quite like these. We do have a new hat. It's a beret. It's pretty cute. The bow isn't painted on, so I like that. And we've got a few swatches here. So we'll go through these. Very nice. Now we're gonna go into necklaces. This is super cute. It matches the earrings with the bow right there. The bow is a little bit different from the earrings. You can see that. And I love the detail here with the clasp and the chain hanging down. That is beautiful. I think they did a really great job with that. Okay, let's go through the swatches here. Oh, that's cute. Very, like, I don't know, it's kind of reminding me of maybe like Clueless or something. I don't know, I never really watched that, but whoa, okay. I'm trying to switch through these swatches here and let me see if there's actually any difference. It doesn't look like there's a difference, you guys. That's odd. Huh, do you notice any changes here? Because I'm not noticing anything. That's really strange. Let's see if we've got the same issue for this necklace. This is like a double necklace here. As you can see, it's kind of like wavy right there. I think that's supposed to be just how it sits on the skin, but I'm not really liking that. Again, I do like the detail of the chain back here, and the clasp is very well done. I think that's very nice. And then this is interesting. Okay, look, you see that little gap right there? We've got the same thing on the other side. I'm not sure why there's that gap. Is that supposed to be there? I don't know. Okay, we're going through the swatches. We've got the pearl necklace. We do have some necklaces like this where there's two of them in different colors in the game. Well, I guess depending on which packs you have. But I do like that you can put the pearl necklace with other necklaces since we're not allowed to put multiple necklaces on. So let's see. Yeah, we've got two swatches that are exactly the same. Unless you guys are seeing anything different on camera, these are exactly the same. I'm not noticing any difference. Okay, and what about these? Are these the exact same as well? You guys, that is so odd. Okay, so we've got these two swatches, the silver, and then we've got the gold swatches that are the same. What about these two? These are slightly different. Do you see that? Slightly different. Slightly different. Okay, I do like how that the necklace goes perfectly with the earrings. It's a kit, so it should be that way. We're diving into clothing now. We've got the tops here, and ooh, look at that. Look at the bows. You guys, they're not painted on. Wow, can you believe it? I guess this is what we get when a C creator helps out. That's just beautiful. I like the little ruffles here and here. I think they're well done. I do always appreciate when they put the little wrinkly parts in the back or on the shirts to show that, hey, look, this is how shirts look in real life. So that's kind of nice. Now let's go through the swatches here. These are kind of some more girly, interesting type tops. I do like some of the swatches here. Yeah, now we've got another one. Oh, wow, look at the bow. Okay. Again, this is not painted on. Love that. let's see, is the lace detail painted on? The lace detail, I'm trying to see here. Yeah, the lace detail, unfortunately, the top does look like it is painted on, except for the sleeves right here. That's interesting. It looks painted on to me, so that's unfortunate. You could see it shadowing. That's very well done. I think that is very nice. I do like this crop top. Let's go through the swatches. We've got the black and the brown, green. Okay, another green, bright green. We've got some, I do kind of like some of the swatches we've got here. So some of them, like this, could be for fall or something like that, although it is kind of cold in the fall. This is more like in the summer. All right, moving on. We've got this long sleeve crop top. Doesn't look like it would be too comfortable to wear in real life, but I do appreciate that, again, the bow isn't painted on. And oh, look at that, the ruffles up at the top aren't painted on either. This isn't painted on. Let's see. Oh no, it doesn't look like any of it's really painted on. I appreciate that. I like the bends in the sleeves. It makes it look more realistic. Now let's go through the swatches. We've got it's basically the same swatches as the other colors that we've got in this pack. This one's kind of different from the theme. I feel like this is more of a preppy top, I guess. I love the patterns here. I think that's really nice detail. Oh look, the shirt kind of sticks out a little bit. I don't know if I like that, but you can tell that it's, you know, that it's not painted on. I like that the collar actually pops out. The same thing here on the cuffs of the sleeves. Very nice. And we're just gonna go through the swatches here. We've got the same colors that we do in all the other shirts. So it is, of course, that makes sense. Now we're on to this one. This one's kind of cute. Again, the bow is not painted on, so that's very nice. I like the little detail here where it's I can't think of the word, where it's like shoelaced through. I like how the bottom color is darker and brings out the bow color. I think that's nice. Well done there. Oh, I like that swatch. Oh, that one's pretty too. Okay, some of them, okay, it reminds me of like the poodle skirts, this one, honestly. All right, now we're gonna go into the bottoms for the ladies. We've got a jean skirt here. Unfortunately, the button is painted on. That's unfortunate. I do like the lacy detail here. It's kind of hard to see down at the bottom, the lace. Now it looks a little bit easier to see, but again, that lace up at the top is painted on. In real life, obviously, it would stick out more. This is a game, but I don't like it when things are painted on. And instead, I appreciate when they actually poke out. So we've got these pants here, high-waisted jeans. All right, and the threading on them is very accented. Okay, that's interesting. We've got belt loops in the back. That's kind of nice. But again, it is painted on, which is unfortunate. Let's go through the swatches here. I don't know. These aren't my favorite jeans that we've got. I don't know. There's something about them that doesn't sit right with me. All right, we've got these same jeans with a little bow tied around them. And the bow's not painted on, so that's cool. I like it how it creases right there in the knees. That's nice. It brings more realism to the game, to the clothing. And again, these bows match the tops that we've got. Okay, these shorts, I like these because they have the little ruffles on them. That's super cute. Oh, look at the hearts. I love these shorts. These are adorable. Again, I hate that these are painted on. That's always going to be a complaint of mine anytime anything is painted on. But these shorts, oh wow, they might be one of my favorite items here for the clothing. This is a cute skirt. Oh my gosh, is that painted on? It looks like it's hard to tell. I think it might be painted on. It looks like it may stick out a little bit. That's interesting. Why do we have some that are more painted on? And like in the tops, that was excellent. I think this kit is very dedicated to a certain type of aesthetic, which yes, kits are. Now we've got a really short mini skirt. Okay, this is kind of interesting because it's more flat. I would have liked to see these kind of cut out more. I think it's okay. When I see skirts like this in real life, this is definitely more prominent, comes out more. There's more depth and concaveness to it. But I do appreciate the shadowing to kind of make it look like it's that way, so that's nice there. Some of the swatches, I don't know, don't seem very... Like the white and the black, they seem a little different from like just how they look in general. I can't quite explain it. You guys know what I'm saying? I wonder. I do appreciate that they're plain swatches. It's easier to put together outfits with, but I wonder what they would have looked like if they would have done something else with the pattern. We do have a pair of fishnet stockings, which go good with this pack. I believe in the base game we've got one, but those are a lot closer together and they don't have these... You see where it kind of comes together, almost like the pearls and the earrings that we've got, how it's more circular there. So that's kind of nice. It's different. Oh, wow. Oh, that's very interesting. Okay. Wow. I was not expecting that. Zoom in. Let's see. We've got heels with the bow on it. The bow is super cute how it's not painted on. And I do like the little strap that we've got here that looks like a button coming out. I appreciate that. I'm always into details. Let's go through the swatches. Again, everything is very cohesive and you can put together your outfits. I think that's nice. I've got a big chunky heel there. We do have a couple of full body items here. Now, again, I like that these ties aren't painted on. I love the ruffly detail here. I think they did a great job with that. It's more of like a corset type top. This kind of reminds me of like a ballerina type dress. We've got this one, which is kind of interesting. Again, I appreciate that the bow is not painted on, but it's kind of interesting as it does look like the pockets might be painted on, unfortunately. I love how the colors are accented towards one another. Like we've got the dark brown on the trims versus the lighter brown. And this is interesting how some of the swatches differ from one another. I do really like the texture of this item. I think it's really cute and very well done. I like the little slant right there. And then we do have a little ruffle right there up at the collar, and that's not painted on either, so that's nice. For the men's side, we've got Calvin's twin brother. Now, the men do get the same earrings as the females, which is kind of interesting. The packs only got 27 items, so I guess, you know, it is very restrictive in that. It's just kind of odd to me that they wouldn't be more masculine items. They do get that same necklace, double necklace. Oh, look, it's a freezer bunny. Wow. Okay. And I do appreciate the detail in the back, but I'm gonna take note of, look at this. You know how there was a space between a couple of these spots on the female side? It's not that way on the male side, so that's kind of interesting. Let's take a look at the swatches to see if we've got what we did have, like the same swatches of a couple of items. Let's see. Yep. It looks like it. I'm not seeing any difference between those. This one, I do see a difference between these two, just like in the other, on the feminine side. I'm not seeing a change between those two. You guys will have to let me know if you're seeing any differences. That one I do see a difference. Now we're going into tops. I think this is an interesting top. It's got the bows on the side. I like that they're not painted on. I like the texture here. It's very nice. I like the detail of the buttons. I wish those weren't painted on. The collar isn't painted on, so I appreciate that too. It's just the bows on the sides are just a little weird to me. I wonder if we would have put the bows down here, or put one bow down here at like the tie of the sleeve or something. That might have been kind of, I wonder how that would have looked. And I would have liked maybe the jacket to be a little bit longer. I don't know. We'll see what we've got for the items of the bottoms to see how it works with these ones. Again, we've got swatches that are very cohesive and matchy-matchy to the feminine side, so I guess the bows do tie into that very well. The sweater here is, you know, we've got the sweater on the feminine side. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a texture, if it's supposed to be like a furry sweater. So that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I think it's actually supposed to be like furry. I was not expecting that. We've got those same swatches again. I actually quite like this one, honestly. I really do. Wow. And it does look good on him, not gonna lie. I like how this is not painted on. The sweater isn't painted on. I like how you can see the shadowing there and how it looks like it's a little bit wrinkled from being tied around his chest or neck, whatever you want to say. I like the cuffing on the short sleeves. I think that's very nice. And I do appreciate the shadowing and the wrinkling of the top. I also like that the collar isn't painted on. I like that this comes out a little bit and isn't painted on as well. So that's a really nice outfit item. I do really like this one. This one's probably one of my favorites for the men's side. I'm just going through it now, but so far it's my favorite. Okay, this one is kind of interesting. I like that the ruffles on this side aren't painted on. It would have been, you know, I would say this in The Sims in general. I would love to be able to put jackets over t-shirts and stuff that we want to put on them. I think that would be awesome to do. This, I like how the tie isn't painted on. And I guess we do have those same accent colors of the ties as we do in the other side. Well, I do think the blue shirt, I do think it was blue and white, so that's kind of interesting. Now, oh, wow, okay. I like the texture on this. I like the shadowing, and I do like the little wrinkles that it's got going on. I like the sleeve cuffs. This part on the neck, the undershirt, is very interesting. It's kind of ruffled or squiggled, and it's not painted on. It's very different than the average undershirt collar. And you know what? It's okay because it's different, and I am kind of liking that. It's not something you see every day, but I do like how there was creativity there. Now we're going on to the bottom items. Oh, there's a chain. Okay. Let's see. Is that painted on? Oh my gosh, look at the pockets. There's bows. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. Oh, it's a pearl chain. Oh, wow. That ties into the theme very nicely. Okay. It's interesting how the top of the jeans come up like that. Like it's already waiting for the shoes. I'm interested to see if we got a pair of shoes and how those will look with these jeans. Well, let's just swatch the backs of these so you can see the different color of bows. I think that's kind of funny. I don't really expect that to be on men's jeans, so I think maybe could have left that be. I don't know. That's my opinion. Oh, interesting. We've got some shorts here. I like the detail on the belt, the shininess of that. Liking the pockets in the back, very nice. Again, that belt is painted on. I like the cuffs on the shorts, how they kind of stick out a little bit and they aren't painted on. Oh, I think the crease right here was done very nicely. We've got the wrinkling of the shorts, but this is kind of interesting how these are shorts and they're not long pants, especially seeing as we've got like a blazer. So that's, now we're diving on into the shoes. All right, these shoes, it's so interesting sometimes how you put stuff on the Sims, and look at that. Did you see his feet grew like, that's so strange to me, but I think these shoes are nicely done. I love the top chains on them. I think that's really nice. I do think those are done beautifully. I think the creator did a great job with those. Oh wow, look at that. You see that shine? Oh, that's cool. Very nice. Men also get the same beret as the feminine Sims. So there's that. It is very limiting with kits. That some cast items, the necklace doesn't work, and I'm not sure why, because we see that it works for this one when the t-shirt goes up to the neckline. But for this one, it doesn't, even though this is lower. So I'm not sure what the deal is with that. Going over the styled looks for the men, I think there are some items that are really nice. I love this top, these shorts, and the shoes. I think that's about all that I like from the pack from the men's side. I thought I would like the jeans better than I do, but turns out that I like the other shorts better. I don't know. You see, this is a very nice outfit. I'm not sure. The men didn't get as many things as the women's side. I'm not sure if this creator's thing is maybe more feminine styles, but I think that side was fabulous. For the men's side, I'm not feeling it. And I thought I would like the sweater, maybe with some other items or jeans or whatever, but going with this pack, I do have to say that this shirt and these shorts and the shoes are my favorite thing of the men's side. See, you can mix and match a lot of them so nicely. Like, look at that. It's just, this reminds me of the UPS uniform. But that's really nice that you can do that with, yeah. And you know, the beret, it's way too feminine for me to include it on the masculine side. I really wish I liked this. The bows bother me, and also the arms make your Sim's arms stick out. Like it's kind of weird. You see that? I'm not sure. I know this has happened with other kits and stuff. It's just kind of interesting. But see, way too feminine in my personal opinion for me. And this isn't how I personally care to dress my Sims, you know, with this beret. Maybe if it didn't have the bow on it for the guys, but again, they only get 27 items. You know how we talked about how this top and these shorts go pretty well with nearly every, like they go together. There isn't a purple swatch for the purple shirt. So that was kind of odd that we didn't have that. I mean, you can do the black shorts, but it's just something to think about. This kit is very mix and match, so you can put together other items with it. It's not necessarily having to be color matched, but that's just something that I noticed. Okay, now we're on the feminine side of the Sims, where I'm just doing some outfits that I put together. This was really easy for me to create outfits with. It was a lot easier on the feminine side than it was for me to do on the male side. I don't know if that's just because we have more items catered towards the feminine Sims. So we've got actually quite a few different outfits here. And I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the feminine cast items overall. I really do think that the shirts, that all the feminine tops in this pack are superb. They did an incredible job making the tops, and I love that there isn't much that's painted on for the tops. I love that the bows always stick out. I think that's beautiful. As for the bottoms, I wish that there would be more detail on the bottoms where the button sticks out a little bit, but I don't know if that's necessarily the creator or if that's just something that The Sims does in general, because I don't know if I've ever seen any pants that actually do, have the button that sticks out. But I do appreciate that the bows weren't painted on the bottoms, so there's that. For the full body items, I think that they were done beautifully. I think there's great attention to detail. Again, I love the patterns and the fabrics. Like, you can see that different fabric is supposed to be used. The details on it are done excellent. The shoes for the feminine side, no complaints there. I think that they are excellently done. Very, very well done. I do really like the earrings. I love the beret for the women's side. For the men's side, I wish that it would have been, just a plain beret without the bow. However, I think that this is just something that has to do with The Sims limiting the kits to a certain number of items. I love the necklaces. I love the idea of the two-tone necklaces. I love the hearts on these shorts that we're going through right now. I think that was great attention to detail there. I love the ruffles on it, so there are some bottoms on here that I really do enjoy. Now, I did find that some of these items, you could match this top perfectly with these shorts, and some of them didn't match perfectly. As you can see, I can't remember if I mentioned it earlier, but the bows don't exactly match the pink on here, which it seems to be something that happens with The Sims in general. Not everything is perfectly matching, so I don't know if that's a creator thing or if that's just The Sims. This is kind of interesting how some of the swatches do have the black here, and some of them, like this, if it were white, it would have maybe gone together better in my opinion. Sometimes I'm really picky about that kind of stuff. I also really like the cohesiveness of this pack. You can put all these outfits together however you please, and it looks really good. So that's just me, and keep in mind that these are just my opinions, and that's how I feel about certain things, and you might not feel the same about them, but I think a lot of the stuff on the feminine side was just excellently executed, and I've still created so many different outfits. Obviously, in a kit, that's what you're supposed to be able to do, so I really think that creator nailed it when it comes to the feminine side of this kit. For the male side, personally, a lot of it wasn't my style for male Sims. I would have loved the jeans, but the bows on the pocket just weren't my thing. I thought some of the textures with the shorts and the jacket not going together, I felt like they should have went together. I'm not quite sure on that. It was, like I said, it was hard for me to play around with, and a lot of that stuff isn't my cup of tea for playing with male Sims. I typically like other styles for them, and that's okay. Everybody has their different preferences. I do think on the men's side the shoes were done great. A couple of the shirts, I can see, maybe in my opinion, it's just like a lot more detail I'm noticing in the feminine side of this kit. And I'm actually going to show you guys how some of the male clothes look on the female Sim. So that's another thing to think about. When we talk about, is this kit worth the $4.99 USD? And keep in mind, these are just my opinions. Yes and no. And allow me to explain. If you're someone who is more into playing with the female Sims, then you are probably going to get a lot more out of this pack. If you're someone who likes the male side of Sims, then I would say probably not. So here you can see I'm using a lot of the male items for the female Sims, and I've actually, you know, like I wasn't feeling this that much, but when I put it on the female Sim, I really enjoy it. And I did try to put some stuff on the male Sims, and it did not turn out too well. You get a lot more bang for your buck when you use the masculine items over on the feminine side. So when I take that into account, yes, it is worth it. Well, when we're talking about items for the men's side, no. If you're wanting to play with the male Sim, in my opinion, there just weren't enough items. Now, that's not necessarily the creator's fault of this kit, because this kits are very limiting. Like I said, I think it was like, what, 24, 27 items, something like that. There isn't many things that you can do with. You have to be very strategic about what you're going to do. So if you're into the feminine side of Cass, then yeah, definitely. But if you're more into the masculine side, I would say probably not. And I would also say that that's my style. The style for the men isn't my style. If you like both the feminine side of Cass and both the masculine side of Cass, then absolutely. Those are my thoughts on this kit. Creating outfits, and it's really a fun, cute, girly kit is how I would describe it. But you guys are gonna have to let me know what you're thinking of this kit, if you've got it or if you plan to get it, and what you're thinking about the items in this kit. What are your favorite pieces? If you have any questions on this kit, please drop them in the comments below and I will get back to you. All right, guys, I will see you all in the next video. Bye.